Hi, my name is Abby Pinapinto. For my ESL strategy, I chose thinking maps. Thinking maps can be used for any subject that you teach in a classroom. It could be used for social studies to compare two types of history events. It could be used for science for comparing two types of theories that scientists have come up with. There are two types of experiments that you do in your classroom. It could also be done with reading. You could compare two types of text. You can compare informational text and what elements they have in that, and then you can compare it to fictional text and what kind of elements they have in those. Thinking maps are just ways that students can organize their ideas and put it down onto paper so they better understand the lesson and the content taught by the teacher. These maps can be teacher-led, they can be completed individually, or they can be used as a whole group. I chose the advanced level for thinking maps because the students are supposed to be able to understand the main ideas and key points in the lesson and content or in the informational text that they are reading. They're also supposed to write down the information into the thinking maps to help organize their ideas and better comprehend the lesson. The reason why I did not choose the advanced high level for this strategy is because advanced high are able to write down academic language and pretty much be able to write fairly well and into an essay. And thinking maps are just writing down their key ideas, and for each spot is just a few points. The specific thinking map that I chose is a double bubble map, which looks like this. The double bubble map is used for comparing two types of things. For this lesson, I specifically chose the TEKS for 4th grade reading, which is recognizing characteristics and structures of informational text, including organizational patterns such as compare and contrast. So the students would read two types of text. Either the teacher would read them out loud to the students, or the students would read with a group or with a partner, or read them individually. And after reading it individually, I think it is very important for the teacher to ask formative questions so the students are able to comprehend, and if they're not understanding the concept, the teacher can go back and reteach it so they can complete this double bubble map successfully. After reading and answering those questions, the students are going to complete the double bubble map independently or with a group. The double bubble map looks like this. So the text 1 would go here, and then they put the differences that's only in text 1 here. Text 2 would go here, and they would put only the things that are in text 2 here, and the similarities between both that are in both text 1 and 2 would go there. For this activity, the content objectives that I chose were: the students are expected to comprehend both stories or text given. They are expected to compare or find similarities between both texts. They are also expected to find the contrast or the differences between both texts. And they're also expected to organize and lay out their thoughts of both texts onto this thinking map. So for the language objectives, I chose for listening, students will carefully listen to the two texts and be aware of the differences and similarities between the two. For speaking, I said students will orally answer the formative questions asked before completing the double bubble map to ensure their comprehension. For reading, I said students will find textual evidence from each similarities and differences. So when completing this bubble map, they must highlight or underline the differences that they find or the similarities that they find, so they're able to ensure that they are correct. For writing, I said students will write down their comparing and contrasting thoughts on the double bubble map for both texts. This concept or idea is just very important for students to grasp because it will help them in their further education to be able to organize their ideas onto paper for any subject. This is also a great strategy for ELLs because sometimes ELLs have difficulty expressing their knowledge and understanding of text that they read. I think these thinking maps or this double bubble map would be very beneficial for English learners because the students can show that they understand the text by just putting down something very simple like this text had evidence, or this text had a fictional character. Something very simple like that, but the teacher can tell that they understand what the text is showing them. Again, these thinking maps and double bubble maps can be used for any subject and would just be very beneficial for teachers to assess students' knowledge in a very simple way.